All right, and we're gonna do episode 3.
I'm gonna paint the town red.
Oh yeah. So this is one of the harder chapters in the game. I think chapter 3 might be my favorite. It's a bit iffy in terms of balancing, but it is definitely really fun. I mean, I love chapter 4, but I don't know, man. 3 is really, really cool. Like, for the time being, look at this environment and compare it to Doom 2. And, you know, I absolutely love Doom 2. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, I can at least tell what this is. I can tell this is a city, basically, right? So, yeah, this is one of the harder levels in the game. There's a lot more platforming in this chapter than there is in the past ones. There's also an achievement you can get for finishing this level without killing or having any of the innocents die, but I have no idea how you're supposed to do that because... Oh yeah, by the way, we're introduced to the Hellhounds. No, they don't drop hard clue scrolls, so... Shit, I killed one. I was hoping to do that on camera without actually thinking, but... You know, it is what it is. So Hellhounds are new. They're basically, if I can compare them to anything... kind of like Pinky Demons from Doom, except they bull rush you and they light you on fire, so you want to have some fire armor on hand, preferably. So, yeah, they're not terribly hard, but they can be a real pain in the ass on higher difficulties. Their main weakness is either shotgun if you don't have a Tesla cannon, but if you have a Tesla cannon, oh man, just use that. It's like the best weapon in the entire game. It's probably objectively broken, but, you know, that's okay with me. I kind of like that. See, there's a point coming up here where this sector explodes, and there's like a... yeah, right here. I have no idea how you're supposed to avoid that. Like, you can see somewhere in there... yeah, there's one dead innocent. I have no idea how you're supposed to avoid that scripting. Also, ooh, sexy stuff, right? Doom didn't have this. I don't know what it was with build games. Build games had to have, like, tits and stuff in them. It was just a... it was just a thing you had to do, right? So, tits or ass or something, you know? You just gotta have some of the T in the A. I don't personally mind too much. So, this level is pretty much... it's like the build engine classic, right? Everything's fucking blowing up, you got shit everywhere, you got cities, you got dudes running around. You know, I think that's something that was planned for Duke Nukem probably at one point, but they scrapped it, I'm guessing. I don't know, because you can tell in Blood there's innocents running around. They don't actually do anything to you. There is one instance in this, I think it's in Chapter 4, where there's an innocent that has a key on it. So you don't actually have to kill them, they're just there. They don't really do anything. So this is a nice secret to get. Also, if you're playing the Fresh Supply version, this is a super secret area. That's actually what it's called, and you'll see at the end of the chapter when we open it up. The game actually calls it a super secret, so if you're wanting to get an achievement, if you're worried about those kinds of things, I personally don't really care too much. Says the guy that got every single achievement in Serious Sam 4, like in 2 days playing it, but, you know, that's just whatever. So, I recommend getting that. It gives you a ton of armor, and also this secret is very helpful because you can see what I'm talking about. We get a nice drop on this area right here. This area has a shitload of cultists in it, and this is kind of what I was talking about in the beginning of the series. There we go. So there's one more... no, there's two more down there. I don't think I killed them, I just think I... yeah. Yay! See, that's the problem with 2.5D, is you really don't have a whole lot of control at times. So, you just kind of gotta guess and check and hope you actually land something in the right angle. So, yeah, this chapter is definitely one of the harder ones. This is where the game starts kind of going, oh, alright, the training wheels are off, buddy. We gotta start kicking your ass a bit. I really don't think these are the worst levels in the game, but they are pretty hard to navigate your first time. But I think that's partially why I enjoy these chapters so much, is because they're so... oh, that's right, I gotta go down here. They're so... I wouldn't say difficult to understand, but the way that they wrap and flow is pretty cool. But at the same time, they wrap and flow, so that's a... you know, they're not Eminem, you know, but still, they they have a certain flow to them that is really hard for newer players to understand, which, you know, I get it. It's not easy learning these kinds of games when you're coming from something like Call of Duty or whatever. I don't even know. Do people still play Call of Duty, or do they just play like PUBG and shit? I don't actually keep up with the cool kids these days. So, yeah. See, you found a super secret. So, this level is also a little nasty, but I kind of like it. So, that's a really hard to see crack in the wall. If you're first playing the game and you get stuck in this area, that's what that dynamite's for. So, it's very easy to get lost in this level. It's got quite a bit of weird shit in it that makes it very difficult to navigate. But, you know, it's just like I was saying, once you start playing the game, once you've played enough of these kinds of games, you kind of just... I mean, I played Witch Haven all the way through, and that game doesn't even have a fucking, like, you know, popular level list or whatever. I had to figure the entire game out by trial and error, guess and check. But it's also because I played a shitload of games like Daggerfall. I think once you've beaten Daggerfall from scratch, you can officially call yourself completely immune to bullshit level design, because it's... I mean, most of the dungeons in that game are just complete random shit, and you have to be able to recognize patterns in it, and it's very difficult to, you know, relate where you're at sometimes. But it's totally doable. I'd say Blood is objectively better than most of the other build games. I mean, when we're talking about the build games, we're usually talking about the Holy Trinity, which is Blood, Duke, and Shadow Warrior. So, for me, I think Shadow Warrior is actually pretty cool, but like I said, I haven't played it nearly enough to have a full-on, this is an objective opinion about it. I think it's a great game. It's unique among the build trilogy, but I don't think it's as fun. I think my biggest problem with it is the weapons. I think the weapons are just... I don't know, they just try too hard to be, like, really cool. Like, the shotgun shoots, was it 2 shells, and then sometimes it shoots 6 if you use the alt-fire. It's an ambitious game, I'll say that much. But I don't think it's as good as Blood. But, you know, Duke Nukem 3D is, I would say, better in terms of gameplay. Map design is also pretty understandable. It's the most digestible of the Holy Trinity. I really don't think it's very unfriendly. I mean, it still has, you know, some cryptic bullshit. It's still a 90s shooter for the for what it is, you know, faults and all, but it's definitely much more palatable and understandable to play. And yes, the reason I'm going through this so quickly and without much thought is because I just played through the 3rd and 4th chapter right before this. And yep, this is a what the hell did that do switch, which, yeah, this, if you've never played the game, is easy to miss, because this door right here unlocks with that switch. So, ugh. Well, good timing, right? So, yeah, this level isn't very hard, but it does have a specific order it has to be completed in. Also, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be using a little bit of a sequence break, and I'm going to use Boots of Jumping got in this level to do one of the next levels as well. So, if that bugs you, I'm sorry, but I don't like the sewer level. I think it's incredibly annoying. So I'm just going to be using the boots we get from here to do a kind of sequence breaky thing. It's something that, you know, when you're not doing a single segment, or sorry, when you're doing a single segment sort of playthrough, you can actually do. When it comes down to doing this in like a pitchfork only start, I don't recommend doing it if you want to do that, because obviously you have to play the level, but it's not very difficult. It's just really awkwardly designed. I'm not a huge fan of it. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of the only levels in the game I'm absolutely 100% alright with skipping. And also, this level does open up quite a bit. You can see it wraps around to the front, so we can actually get up here. So go ahead and shoot that. You can make that jump. Don't worry, it's not too bad. There is a very loud speaker out there. Wow. And we're going to be in here. This is actually a pretty dangerous room, because there's a lot of dudes in here, but it's not too bad. I don't think the difficulty in Chapter 3 is very hard, because, well, the game does technically sort of start chucking a lot of shit at you, and by the way, this is how fast the Hellhounds die. They just take, like, a tiny little jab, and then they're pretty much done. This is a little bit of a dangerous area, so This whole level is fairly dangerous. I mean, there's not a moment in Blood where it's not dangerous, but this one is pretty challenging if you're not paying attention. So, it's like I said, it's why I like the build trilogy, is because there's a lot of, you know... Back in the day when I was a kid, I was really into, like interior interior design. I played a lot of The Sims, I played a lot... Oh, that's the trash can. I was like, the fuck is that sound? It's the damn trash thing next door. Anyways, so like, playing games that had like their own interiors and stuff, that was really cool, and I mean, it's still impressive, especially for this day and age. This game holds up very well. So I don't recommend wasting... Oh, that was bullshit. I don't recommend wasting, like, Tesla Cannon on Cultists. It's just because it has to travel, and that travel time is more than enough to really not let you get, like, a lot of, like, stun animation, because the further you are from Cultists, the more, like, risk they pose. So you want to use something like the chain gun, or sorry, Tommy gun. I keep calling it that. I'm so sorry, but, like, you want to use that. It's just much safer. Is that the Russian flag, by the way? I'm pretty sure that's the Russian flag. Anyways, the rest of the area down there is fairly useless. I'm not really going to go into it. It's just a little bit too dangerous for my liking. I don't really want to have to deal with it. Oh, Jesus. This bank area, I feel, is 100% just a copy-paste of something from, like, Duke 3D. And I'm not 100% certain on the switch orientation here. I'm going to be real. There's a level in this level set that I actually skip through the level geometry because I genuinely can't be asked to figure out the puzzle. I know what the puzzle's consistency is. I get what it's trying to make you do, but it's just the way it's executed is very slow and awkward, so I just don't want to do it. Don't hate me, please, but, you know, that's just what I'm going to do. So this is raw sewage, jump boots. Where are we at? There we go. So this level is insanely short if you have jump boots, which is what I'm going to do because I'm a huge pussy, and yeah. Holy shit. Wow. That is not how I went in here every time I've played. I did not mean to fall. This is like... Oh, this reminds me of when you're speedrunning Doom, or sorry, speedrunning Quake, and you're doing, like, one of the later levels, and it's just like... There's a section like this, and it's just very dangerous. I should know, I'm a fucking Quake speedrunner, but whatever. So that's raw sewage. I just... Somebody else's. Oh, Caleb, you're so cool. I wish you were my real dad. Anyways, this level is actually very difficult. I will say, despite Episode 3 seeming like, oh, you skipped a level, it must be really hard. Yeah, that's another reason, too. Episode 3 is pretty difficult, but it's not as bad as, like, the expansion packs. I think most Blood players can agree the expansion packs are just fucking hard. They're not brutally difficult. It's a little bit of a hyperbole that's attached to it that, like, Aqueducts is the hardest level in the game. I think that's fair, but it's because the main reason what makes Aqueducts a very difficult level is not the level itself. It's not even the traps. It's just the fact that, like, there's a section where you have to go underwater, and when cultists go underwater, they get, like, a new, like, animation set and everything, and they're actually incredibly fast. So, yeah, that's what makes that level difficult, because you have to go in this, like, underwater section. There's a shitload of dudes, and they all pretty much just gang up in this little tiny area, and it's really dangerous. So, if I had to guess what makes that level difficult, it's probably that. Oh, Jesus, there we go. There's also another dude right over there. There we go. So, yeah, I'd say these levels are pretty damn challenging. They give you a good run for your money. They make you test out all the mechanics. I think the reason this level set doesn't bug me very much is because it has, well, the Tesla cannon. That's a godsend when it comes to, you know, actually taking care of shit. Like, you don't have to worry so much because it really is kind of broken. It's not broken in the worst way possible, but it's definitely pretty damn broken. Like, I'd say a lot of the weapons in Blood are very, very, like, beefy, And to play devil's advocate, they also are very damaging to you if you're not careful. Kind of like the rocket launcher in Shadow Warrior. I think that's my main problem with it, is it's just... It feels iffy. It's like too straight. It's too slow. It feels like something out of Rise of the Triad, I guess. I don't know. I don't hate that game. I just think it's not... Well, or Rise of the Triad. You know, I will probably eventually do the 2013 Rise of the Triad. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever, but it's definitely... It's fun. I mean, it's made by the same people that made Dusk, I'm pretty sure. They even have Big John! Kill me, do it now, Big John! Fucking... Yeah, bet you didn't know I did the voice for Big John. No, I'm just kidding, I didn't. But, yeah, fucking, it's got Big John in it, and it's fantastic. Actually, because that game came out before Dusk, technically it's the first game to have Big John. So, everybody loves it. So, that floor is actually the damaging sector there. That little swingy thing doesn't really hurt you at all. If you stand on the floor there, it's insanely damaging, though. Also, these are almost instant kills. This in a higher difficulty with low ammo, it's pretty bad. I'm also out of my med kit here, so I'm trying to do a little bit crafty, like with my combat, because I don't want to get too low on ammo or health. I mean, that's the story of every FPS game ever, but in this game in particular, in case you couldn't tell, oh shit, that's right. You can absolutely just die super quickly. Especially in, it's the heavy machinery level. I keep calling it that. It's called something else. I think it's actually the next level. But it's no joke. Like, you can hemorrhage health so fast in that level, it's unbelievable. Like, you don't want to be in it for very long. This is actually a trap, so there is a life seed in that, but there's a proxy mine in it, so go ahead and do this. Otherwise, that could be you, and it's not fun. I also like these little brains, by the way. These are cute. They don't do anything, they're just decoration. This level also has the, what's it called, reference. It's one of those older... Is it Gone with the Wind? I don't know nothing about Birth and Babies, Miss Scarlet. I think that's from Gone with the Wind. I don't know. I'll show you guys how to get that. I actually do know how to get that secret. It's pretty easy. So it's actually over here behind the sector. This area is pretty easy. We just gotta, like, shoot these hands. They don't... I haven't mentioned this yet. The hands, the spiders, all those things, they really don't do very much damage to you. They're just more there for irritation, which is why I generally just ignore them for the most part. But, you know, if you want to kill them, more power to you. I just think they're a pain in the ass. So if we go here, boop, and we can unlock.
I do know nothing about birth and babies, Miss Scarlet.
And by the way, you blow up babies in this game. How controversial. How much of a monster is Caleb, right? But yeah, this level does have a little bit of wraparound feature, which is also why I say... People that are not familiar with these build engine games, where the level geometry kind of just...
I need a key.
What? Did I not pick it up? What a bunch of hoosafudge. I don't think I did. Nope. Okay. So anyways, yeah, a lot of the level geometry just sort of wraps in on itself, and that is very confusing for a lot of players because they aren't used to this kind of weird design. I don't know, I think in terms of level design, Blood is pretty... solid. I don't think it's as bad as it looks. So, spare parts, that's the name of the level. So, actually I want my... let's just switch to the Tesla cannon. So, we gotta turn that thing on right there. So, also the cultists are incredibly stupid. Their AI will literally just walk directly on those sectors and they don't give a shit, which you'll probably see them do in a minute. So, you don't have to turn this on, but you can. It's just a little light doodad. So this is a little buggy. In vanilla Blood, you could easily just walk like this, but if you touch that sector when it's still raising up, it actually hurts you. That's an issue with this version of the game. Excuse me? Okay, there we go. So this turns on this, and we can finally explore the level. It's a little bit of a confusing one because, as far as you're aware of, that doesn't do anything. Also, another dickish trap as well. I'm gonna take a drink while this thing takes 800 years. So yeah, that first-time player is not going to assume that that's going to happen. But, you know, it's just what I said, you know, you play this game and you start to learn it from experiencing mistakes over and over. So, yeah, it looks like the cultist did fall down there. You can get, like, you know, what's it called? Like fire armor, and that really does help negate the damage. Not a ton, but it is enough to where you don't have to worry as much. Fire damage in this game is weird. It feels like it's pretty random and long. Also, this level has a little bit of a... kind of some iffy design. Oh, fucking hell. You see how fast, like, those Tommy gun units can just eat your health. Anyways, you want to disable those safety clamps. That's part of the main objective to this level. Ooh, that was spooky. I get a lot of random frame drops. This is not a recording thing. It's just an issue with the game itself. It does this even when you're not recording. I've even seen people complaining about it. Also, in Vanilla Blood, that will actually kill you, but in this version, it doesn't do it. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's just a small little issue. It's like I said, there's a couple of differences here and there between this version of Blood and the others, So go ahead, after you remove the safety clamps. This is the most metal, elaborate door of all time. Has to fill up with blood because the game's called Blood. Of course, it's got to have more blood, right? Gotta feed the beast.
Locked.
So, another reason why I said there's no obvious thing happening. You gotta wait for that to open. And, of course, it wouldn't be this asshole of a level without this dude here, so... yeah, this is where the game starts to really say, fuck the player, we're just gonna, you know, do some asshole design. I'm not really a huge fan of it, but for the time the game came out, this was just what you did. You know, you didn't really worry about, is this fair? No. You had to get the player to keep playing your game you made. So we gotta turn on the power in this room, and then turns on this little thing. You see, there's a lot of shit in Blood that's very... obtuse thinking, like you wouldn't think to do it. Also,
it was at this moment Jackson knew. He fucked up.
This doesn't kill you. Oh, I lied, it does. Alright, here we are again. Awesome. Yeah, that really didn't take me too long, but I swear to God, those did not kill me every time they hit me back in the past playthroughs, but whatever, it's not a huge deal. So... yeah, this is definitely one of the harder levels in the game. I won't say it's not. It's definitely also a little bit stupid because the exit's really not intuitive. And there's also this as well. So just hit these two switches here, and then move out of the way because that's actually going to open up this door over here. There we go. So you see what I mean? Then this opens up and you can get the skull key. So there's also a couple of hands in this room too, which are a little bit irritating. Go ahead and disable some stuff as well if you want. Hello, Mr. Thing. So also there's a Chiog fight in here, or a stone gargoyle if you really want to waste all your ammo. I personally don't want to do that. Clearly I have better things to do than play with this bastard all day. I'd rather play with myself, thanks. So, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore him. We got, like, what, 10 HP there? Kind of a small gain, but it's a gain nonetheless, so you can explore more of the level in that skull area over there if you want to, but this is a very poorly designed elevator. It's really hard to see, so there's that one. And then, of course, there's monster bait. I don't get the joke! So, this level is actually pretty tough. I will say it's tough in an odd way. I can't really explain what makes this level hard. It's just... I don't know, I think it's just poorly paced, I think. I'm sorry, this is the level where I have to get through some of the geometry because I just can't be asked with the puzzle. It was never fixed, so of course I'm gonna abuse it, right? This level is pretty damn difficult, so I suggest starting off using your napalm gun. It's just much safer. Just this level probably has some of the most Tommy gun units in it in the entire game, so I strongly recommend it. Alright, so we gotta do this little bit of a switch puzzle here. I think these are optional, but I like hitting switches, so don't judge me. This level is pretty cool. I mean, but it also is kind of what I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of design that just kind of gets wasted because there's a lot of shit in it that doesn't get used. So it's not terrible by any stretch, but it's definitely not perfect. I like it a lot, though. I always say I like Chapter 3 a lot. It's really cool. It takes a long time to memorize a lot of this shit, clearly, but, you know, at the same time, it is still really fun. There's a lot of switch-pushing shit in this chapter, which I like, too. So, and then we get to open this door with the most over-dramatic thing ever. This level also has a dam. I can't remember if, did Duke Nukem 3D have a dam? I don't think it did. If it did, well, it wasn't really cool. So we gotta power up the room with this big-ass switch, and then power this thing on. It's a lot of machinery stuff, which I'm not a huge fan of factory levels in general, but like I said, let's switch over to Tommy Gun. This is a little bit of a dangerous area. There's so many fucking Tommy Gun units. So there's a life seed in that area, but I'm not going to get it just yet. I want to clear out this room as well. So there's a couple of ways to solve this puzzle. Also, you don't need boots of jumping to do this. You can do this just by level geometry as well. So I don't think you can actually kill Hellhounds with anything that's fire-based. I'm pretty sure it just doesn't work. I'm almost 100% certain on this. There we go. So before I do anything else, that should clear out the room. There's a lot of dudes in here, so we can just hit jump up here. I'm 99% certain you just do this as well, but it's a very finicky jump, and you can just bang your head on that roof over and over, so you can see what I mean. I just use jump to get up there quicker, so obviously we need to get that key. That's what we need, that's what we want. Just jump, a little frame drop there. Just jump off of the surface, and boom, you can get it. Otherwise, you have to walk through the area over there when we get into that spot. So I don't know. You can get the key two ways. You can do the long way, or you can do the thank God Seth showing me what to do way. I recommend the thank God Seth showing me what to do way because it's my way, damn it, and it works. So it also breaks a lot of the sequencing. So this area is a bit of a bitch. Like I said, there's a ton of dudes just all over this level. I mean, mostly every single level has a ton of dudes, but this one just has, like I said, so many Tommy gun units, it's ridiculous. So, alright. This is a little bit of an ass of a puzzle. I understand what you're supposed to do, but I just don't care. So, this thing rotates, and then I'm gonna quick save just in case. Just run into here. And boom, we're officially breaking the game. You're supposed to hit switches till like a combination's correct, but I just can't be bothered to do it. So, you know, if you're like, oh, you asshole, dude, I am a fucking Quake speedrunner. I will find any way to get through stupid shit that I just don't want to take time with. So, this level is pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's got a lot of cool shit in it that's memorable, like the dam. I like saying damn. Oh, I'll be damned. I love that. I love Beavis and Butthead Do America. It's one of my favorite movies. So, you thought I was kidding when I said this level is just fucking jam-packed with chain gunners. It's just, I think it might hold the record of the most in the entire game. I would not even be shocked. It's also just packed with a lot of really nasty areas, so yeah, like see shit like that. It's just, there's so much. Also, that's how you're supposed to get the moon key the legit way, I'm pretty sure, but I could care less, so I couldn't care less. There's like a debate on that, like saying, and I don't really say it very much because I don't understand. Well, I know the point. I couldn't care less. You could care. You know what I mean. It's a grammar paradox. I'm not really a huge fan of saying it is why. And everyone's got their own opinions on it. You know my least favorite grammatical, or sorry, not grammatical, but just sort of like common phrase that everyone says? It's like, oh, opinions are like assholes. It's like, everyone's got one. It's like, yeah, but, you know, sometimes your opinion can be correct. The other one that always bugs me is, okay, so by the way, before I say this, if you go in that water, you'll have to do the entire level over to get to this point again. don't do that. Just jump down here and finish the level. Don't fuck around. It's just not worth it. Also, it's kind of hard to tell you're supposed to be in here, but it does actually raise the sector up, so we can get to that island. I don't think there's any way to get it. Oh, my least favorite idiom, or whatever you want to call it, probably is going to be, you know what they say about assuming it makes an ass out of you and me. How is it that the other person is the ass in this sentence? I don't understand. Like, isn't it technically a accusation would be a more improper thing?
Cujo.
Yeah, Cujo. There we go. So, this is the Cerberus boss fight. No, you don't get a clue scroll, nor do you get a... what's it called? Abyssal Stone, or whatever it's called. Infernal Stone, there we go. I have never fought Cerberus in my entire RuneScape career. I know that's heresy, but I don't have time. That's why I do Slayer instead, just vanilla Slayer. So, we have to fight Cujo by breaking... I really just called it Cujo, didn't I? Anyways, we have to fight Cerberus by breaking all the seals. So switch to your Tesla gun, and once this explodes, in glorious build engine fashion, start using your jump boots. Oh my god. So that's why I said use your jump boots. Oh, that's why I'm fucking up, is because that explosion's moving me around. Anyways, just jump in the air and unload on him. That's the only way you can really take care of Cerberus. And that's pretty much it. It's not a very difficult boss fight, if I'm honest. But I like the cutscene that follows here. It's pretty cool.
Rest in pieces.
So yeah, that's episode 3. Obviously there was that really shitty crush death, and obviously the reason I died on Cerberus was because that explosion moved me around and took away my control for like a second. That was kind of my fault, but I'm gonna say it wasn't. So yeah, that's chapter 3. I'll see you in the next one for the last official chapter that's not an expansion pack. See you then.